by Cedars-Sinai. Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's LaRue! It's a dream return!
Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City match preview and footy therapy pod featuring two podcast certified footy therapists. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, and always with me, something new every single week. My co-host, Angela Morales.
I am something new every week, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
what version of Angela will show up?
We talk on a daily basis. When we do the pod is when we get to like face-to-face chat. And then we do kind of a bigger catch up. And then usually it's, oh yeah, this happened this week. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. And then this time it was like, you ready to go?
Yeah. Angela is ready. So let's get this thing started.
I'm ready. I'm not as tired. So for the person on YouTube, who I don't remember what their screen name was, who said, for the love of the sport, please get some sleep. I've been trying. Some of it isn't my fault in the sense that like, sometimes you just can't sleep.
Yeah.
Like, I was just awake. Like I also have like chronic health issues that sometimes don't let me sleep. Like the other night, I think it was Saturday night. I don't know. No, it was Sunday night because I had to go to work at 6 a.m. And I was like, when you're like asleep awake and you're just like, you're kind of awake, but your body is like asleep and you're just laying there like neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can
like
hear
the
dishwasher running, like I can hear everything. Yeah.
Do you have around this time of spring, early summer, do you get like the birds in the middle of the night?
Yes.
It sounds like you're in Costa Rica.
Freaking loud. Well, my house, like the house that Eva and I are in on our property, we're under our jacaranda tree. So they're just like, cheep, 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 cheep. God forbid my windows are open. And also like 2 weeks ago, we were both like having trouble sleeping and then a skunk sprayed outside.
Oh, jeez.
And the the side windows are open because we were trying to let some of the heat out of the house overnight.
Yeah.
That got closed real quick. So that's part of the reason why I've been sleeping. There's like multiple skunks in our neighborhood and it sucks. So if anybody has a skunk in their neighborhood and the smell gets in their house, I highly recommend putting out bowls of vinegar and or coffee grounds. They both absorb smells really fast.
Oh, good to know.
Ask me how I know. All right, so let's talk soccer. Let's get down to business. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah. This is our match preview for our next home match. Woo. And the last home match for a long, long time. It's going to be on Saturday, June 14th. I got the date right this time. Versus North Carolina Courage at BMO Stadium. 7 p.m. kickoff. It's going to be streaming on ION TV, and it's going to be on iHeartRadio and 1330, I believe, for the Spanish broadcast. And it is the Juneteenth celebration. Yep. There's usually something that will happen like around halftime or a post-match kind of presentation. I haven't seen too much about it yet, but they'll probably release something like tomorrow when we release this.
Right. As soon as this goes live, remember to check Angel City Everything because there will be things we don't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Before we get into all of this, shit's weird and shit's hard out there, guys. Like, okay, we can't, us being who we are.
Yeah.
We can't just do the podcast like normal.
Absolutely not.
It's not. Because we're not in normal right now.
No.
I mean, LA hasn't.
I don't think we are going to be for a long time at this point.
No. So we're going to talk about it for a bit. And, it's one of those things where you'll get people that are like, oh, this is sport. Just leave politics out of sport. Blah, blah, blah. No.
If you ever want to see me get like mad on a cellular level, tell me sports or food are not political. And I will derail every conversation. I will probably end up in angry tears because I'm so frustrated that you're stupid. Yeah, sports is inherently political.
I am sad by your stupidity. That's what it is.
It's true. Your stupidity frustrates me to a level that I cannot comprehend. Because what world are you living in?
Yeah. Whether you like it or not, sport is political. Whether you like it or not, it always has been. Soccer has always been political.
Absolutely.
It's been.
It still is. Like
It still
it
is.
just is.
It just
It
is.
is.
It's as much as we talk about the community and the supporters of these teams, right? Look at the teams around the world, in Europe, in Germany, in the uh, the African leagues, in our own league, right? Like all of that, there are big followings and huge fans, and life happens to everyone. And you can't
Yes.
say that this cannot. And this is a venue. What you do with your time is totally for you, right? That's just your decision to do with your time what you will. But for those of us who need to speak up, we will
Yeah.
use the opportunities that we have. And for a lot of people, that opportunity is the stadium, is the
Yeah.
football pitch, is that. That's how you get your message out. Supporter culture is in no way not political. It's
It is beautifully political.
yes. So this team and this league, not only this league, I'm gonna say like all the other leagues too, but for us, what we're talking about, this team, this league, is a reflection of its community. We're black, we're brown, we're white, we're Asian Pacific Islander, we're straight, queer, trans, we're short, tall, we're all one community, and we stand up for each other. We went through fucking hell in January
Yeah.
with the fires that destroyed a good portion of LA, and we rose up and we helped one another, and we came as a community to help rebuild.
Yeah. I think one of the most beautiful things I've seen out of the last week and everything that's been going on is like we've become the fire. Hold on. Wait, did I take a screenshot of it? I think I took a screenshot because I was like, "Oh, this is beautiful." Oh, dang, I didn't. I think then I put on my Instagram story, and I'll get it pulled up in the background while we talk about this. But this city has been through so much this year, and for someone to have the absolute audacity to try and make it harder, make it more difficult, make it scarier. Nah, bro. I saw another thing earlier today that it said Angela. Well, kind of. Los Angeles is a city of professional resistors. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're resisting the status quo. You're resisting the world as we know it because it doesn't have to be like this. And we're resisting. People come out here to chase a dream. Some of us are here because people who have chased dreams got here and accomplished what they wanted. My family is from Baja. Like my Mexican side is from Baja. My great-grandparents crossed for work and ended up in Sacramento with black lung from working in mines. Like my family's been here since before California was California. And like, it's funny because people are like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, literally right here.
Yeah.
All up and down the state. Like, we are who we are. And like, I love this city. And I'm also determined to find this thing because I was like obsessed. I kept thinking about it all day, and it's beautiful
city,
art.
From what we know, right? And as Angelinos, as people that live here, we know that there is a side of what's being shown that's complete and utter bullshit.
Absolutely.
Right?
I've had to explain to family, to friends. My mom has had to explain to her coworkers, like all kinds of like, "Are you okay?" And it's like, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
well, no, we're not okay because this is bullshit. But like, realistically, we're fine. Like, we're just going, like, you have to maintain a sense of normalcy if you can.
Yeah.
So that you can show up for those who can't.
Yes. And LA is not burning. We're not rioting in the streets. There's no insurrection. We are protesting and we are fighting back against the bullshit that's happening to our community and the bullshit that's happening where people are fucking getting kidnapped and stuff like that. That's what we're fighting for. But if you actually look at what's happening, for the most part, we are fighting with resistance, peaceful resistance, with
Yeah.
organized resistance, with all of that. So don't let anybody fucking tell you that it's a jungle out there and we are just
Exactly.
we're being overrun or anything, because that's not fucking true. And that's
Right.
why I love LA. It's we've been doing it. There was this beautiful video of the when the protesters shut down the 101 right next to the jail, the central jail.
Yeah.
And there was it looked like it could have been a pretty tense standoff. There was a whole line of cops, and then there was a whole line of protesters coming up. But there was these two women that kind of stepped up, got in front of everybody, calmed people back to just kind of say like, look, this isn't the right thing.
Yeah.
They were able to go talk to the police officers and kind of tell them, look, we're doing what we're doing, don't start shit, won't be shit, right?
Right.
And
That's the biggest thing. It's like, don't start no shit, it won't be no shit. You don't come here and
Yeah.
expect us to just roll over. Okay, so the thing I found on Instagram, this is my phone. So it's somebody, it looks like it's downtown, but it says we fought the flames and then we became the fire. And they have fire like spelled out FIRE, and it's fight for immigration rights and equality. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly it. Because the other side of that is like, people are like, oh, it's so violent. It's like, no, what's your definition of violence? Because violence isn't just physical. It's food deserts. It's lack of opportunity. It's housing issues. It's purposefully not fixing problems that are fixable because you're not benefiting from the solution.
it's instilling fear into communities.
Yes.
It's kidnapping people. It's making
Absolutely.
people not trying to get people to not fight back because
Yeah.
you're doing something that is just completely wrong. So
Yeah.
I think depending on how I can edit this and depending how late this gets, I am going to try to put up resources on screen on YouTube. We'll repost them on social as much as we can. We'll keep reposting for as long as it's going to be. So you'll see everything from Know Your Rights to June Endo's back. Like it's
Yeah,
gonna
you're
be
gonna see a lot.
it's gonna be a wild time on our feed, but it's
And
it's
we
because
have-
that's what we need to do.
we have built a community around this silly podcast that is so wonderful and so welcoming. And I just want to reiterate the Discord is an incredibly safe space. My DMs, if you have my number, if you need help, please reach out. If I can't do it personally, I will find people who can. Mutual aid is popping up all over the city, the state, the country. We will find a way to get you help. If you need someone to run errands because it's not safe for you to leave your house, let us know. Swears on all swears.
Yeah.
We got you.
And same thing. I'm usually the one on our Instagram. So when you message, I'll be probably the first one to see it. Angela also sees it too. If I can't help, I know most likely Angela will be able to find a resource for us. So
Yeah.
please, if there's anything, reach out. So all in all, if you're one of those that wants to say, let's just talk about soccer league politics, 1, you're wrong. 2, no. And 3, you're listening to the complete wrong podcast. Because
Yeah.
you're listening to a podcast about women's soccer in the NWSL
Brought to you by two Latinos. Like
by 2 Latinos who
a
are
queer woman.
a queer woman. like wrong podcast, buddy. And I also listen to one of the LAFC podcasts myself, and one of the hosts there, Travis Helwig, he had a really great way of putting the idea of what our community is, and really he just put it so nicely that I'm gonna have to say it verbatim. But if you're deciding who is allowed to belong, then it's you that doesn't belong.
Yeah.
There's no room for someone like you to say XYZ doesn't belong, because in no way, shape, or
Arbitrary
form
reason.
is that
Yeah.
true. That's the reality of what we're dealing with. The news is going to be crazy. Support your loved ones. As people say, there's different, any level of support. The way we say any level of support, whether it's just liking a post or actually
It's the
commenting
same
on something,
thing.
it's the same thing. If you
If
can,
you only have the ability to repost stuff on Instagram, it's helping. If you can help people monetarily, awesome. If you're out in the streets, because you can be sick. If you're working for an organization that's helping with different immigration issues and helping immigrants and helping folks that are struggling right now, thank you.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, thank you.
Don't think that because you cannot be at a physical rally or
Yeah.
you don't want to be at a physical rally, right? It can be a scary thing. It can be an overwhelming thing.
Yeah.
Don't think because you can't do that, you're not helping.
Yeah.
Anything you can do to help your neighbor, to help the community, to help spread the word is helping.
Yep.
So we're gonna keep doing our part, and we really hope that everybody else keeps doing theirs, and we get these assholes out of here
Yeah.
and other assholes out of other places. So with that, let's try to bring
put our
some
soapboxes like to the side, not
to the
completely away.
They're never
'cause we
away.
need them. Yeah, they're never away. They're just like off to the side. And we're transition into something really fun. So yeah, this weekend was insane. However, there was something really super fun and really I got emotional about it, obviously. It's our 3rd anniversary. It's our 3rd birthday, guys.
Yay.
Yeah.
We celebrated 3 years of our first episodes going live. It's crazy to think that it's been 3 years. It's always funny to me too that like because we started this thing midway through a season,
Yeah.
we're like at the beginning of the season, I had to like when I wrote the post about like our first game or whatever, I was like, oh, season 2, year 2.5. Yeah, it was our 3rd anniversary, and our anniversary lands on National Best Friend Day. So
Yeah.
I think that's just
It's so great. Like we started off very much as strangers, very quickly became friends, and now like Mario sending me pictures of his kids at swim lessons, like they leveled up, and that's my family. So this is I cried. Deal with it. This week has already been stupid emotional. So yeah, thank you.
yeah.
If you want to understand my feelings, watch the 100th episode again, and it's just that on loop. It's just me sobbing.
Yeah.
Constantly. Like I just love my friends. You also have to understand, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast before. 90% of my friends live in my phone. They've either left LA for work or, whatever, or I've met them through other channels where they're not from here. Like one of my biggest and most active group texts is with 8 other women who live. So it's me, another girl out here, Oregon, 3 different cities in Ohio, Texas, Wisconsin, Indiana. So like when we saw each other once in the last like 7 years all together and we all cried. It was just like, oh my God, my friends, so it's that kind of thing. My best friend lives in San Diego. Everybody's very spread out for me, my family too. So like,
I'm just thinking of the time zones of that. Like I have to work in different time zones, and that's a pain in the ass.
It's hard. Yeah, I'll wake up to like 40 text messages sometimes from like middle of the country. Like my other 2 like closest friends, one's in Flagstaff and the other is in Michigan. So and they were roommates in college. So like we have very crazy conversations. So like it's just having this community and having people here has been so special, and I think that's part of why I'm always crying. But yeah, so to continue with that, aside from the chaos of the weekend, we had a little bit of a chaos award. I genuinely didn't know what to pick. I struggled.
I mean, I had something, but it was also the lowest common denominator one. So I was like, there's probably something else.
Was it Brad? Because let me tell
Brad.
you.
Brad made the list. Brad. Oh.
So we may or may not have procured through a source who shall remain nameless. And
unless they want to tell us.
Yeah, unless they want to know or they want people to know. There is a wonderful, beautiful fan of Angel City who has been keeping track of the indiscretions made by the referees.
Per game.
So I haven't yet looked at it. I know where to get it. I just haven't had a chance to like sit down and look at it, and I can't wait. But at one point during the game, there was like such a bad missed call right down in front of us that an older man, probably in his 60s, took off his glasses. They had already learned his name was Brad because I'm screaming like, Brad, do better, like screaming at this man. Takes off his glasses and is like, do you need these? So then every single person in our section, me, Eva, my mom, like people were like, Brad. It was insane. Or it was like the line judge. Somebody, oh my God, now I can't get my glasses. I can't get my glasses back on. Hold on.
Just the fact that like became a thing. Like I want our Discord is so funny. The fact that like as info starts coming in,
Yeah.
and it's not just one person, so we can't just say it's like, oh, this one person always posts info on the Discord. There's like 3 or 4 of them that will be like, who's the first one to be able to find out like who the ref is?
Yeah.
And then
has
they'll
pro ref posted yet? Then it's like, boom, there it is. Shit.
and here's the
Like,
assignments and shit. Yeah.
I'm worried. Speaking of, we haven't had a Chesky game in a while. I'm worried. It's going to be this weekend. But aside from Brad being Brad and the assistant refs being the assistant refs, you know what? My Chaos Award actually goes to that VAR review of the handball, not handball, maybe a handball, goal, not goal, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But my little baby Chaos Award goes to the 4 girls that were behind us on Saturday night. I love them with my whole heart because at one point, this one girl asked like, what does this mean? How come sometimes they kick it from here? Sometimes they kick it from there. And the other one goes, okay, so if the ball goes out on the sidelines, whoever touched it last, the other team throws it in. The girl's like, okay. And then she goes, okay, so then if you kick the ball out and your team has the ball and you kick it out, then it gets turned over. Then it's called a goal kick and it goes like this. And she's explaining goal kicks, corner kicks, PKs, like offside, all these different rules for soccer. And I was like, oh, you're a broadcaster. You're like an 8-year-old broadcaster behind me. She was amazing.
She's the one player out of their friend group, but like they all got to go to the game together because it's play date. Let's all go.
And she's the only one who gives a shit. It was great because the whole time they were having a blast. They were talking about like going swimming, and then 30 seconds later, why is this referee so bad? They're the ones who started the
even
ref you suck chant. Honestly, they're the 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, ref you suck, in the tiniest little voices that got our entire section chanting it. And I was like, oh, I like them. I like them a lot. Yeah. That's really it. The world was too chaotic for the NWSL to actually have a chaos award.
Oh man. But so Brad is definitely on the list now of our refs. I think it all started with Trevor. Right? Was it a Trevor? Trevor. So it's the Trevor list, but Brad is on it. And with that, it was again for us here in LA, and I mean really other places around the US, but it's a weird fucking time. So
yeah. Oh, and really quick, shout out to all the supporter groups. That tifo was dope as hell. Beautifully created, beautifully made. I think half the stadium cried a little bit. Did you see the tifo?
The Pink Pony Club one?
Yeah. Everyone is welcome at the Pink Pony Club. Like, Pink Pony Club is in WeHo. Like, it was so beautiful to have that at Pride. And then they played Pink Pony Club in the stadium, and everybody's, yay, it's Pride. Let's go F some shit up. Okay. Like, I know so many people who went from some Pride event to Angel City Pride to protest to Pride to like just on and off everything. It was like protest, Pride, protest. And it's like, yeah, that's what this shit's about. Yeah. Solidarity. Because if one of us isn't, none of us are. Yeah. So anyway, it's just going to keep coming back to that.
No, it is going to keep coming back. I mean, even to the fact that like people were concerned about like, was there going to be a presence at the game?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
a lot of there because of it, and I don't blame them for that at all.
And
you just have to stay safe.
And at the LAFC game the next day, like my wife and I went to that game, and yeah, it was empty. It's been the kind of emptiest that I've seen it in a long time, and it truly is because of just how bad everything got by Sunday, you know, or like how big not bad, just how
Yeah,
big
it
everything
got
got by
big.
Sunday. Okay, sorry. We're
But really
probably going to
quick,
keep
good
digressing.
showing out from both the Fortaleza and the 3252. Man, so many beautiful signs, big statements, shirts. At the LAFC game, they were quiet the whole game, no? Or like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
The
to have a
entire
supporter section that intense and that loud and that rowdy, just be like, no, listen.
the entirety of the 3252, all the groups agreed to silent protest. To their statement was basically that what makes the atmosphere,
Yep.
the atmosphere, and what makes the team and MLS money is the backs of these fans and what this community is, and
Yeah.
it's a version of this game without this community. And so they stayed quiet full 90 minutes. Did not there was
Wow.
Towards the end there was like one or two chants that started, but they were more like fuck ice or
Yeah.
but they were quick, short, and then but beyond that, like beyond just cheering when a goal went in, right? The stadium cheered, but they
Yeah.
weren't chanting.
They weren't
And
loud.
the game went into extra time, and so like the fact
Well-
that like at the 93rd minute they all finally like roared up, and they have a chant called "This is Los Angeles" or
Yeah.
"We are Los Angeles." It was loud.
Wow.
Like they were like I talked to some friends that are part of it, and they were like, we were putting the full 90 minutes into like those like 2 minutes
that
of
like
chanting.
2 minutes. Yeah. Put
So-
everything that you've been holding in. That's amazing.
Exactly. So like
I need
yeah,
to see video of it because I know it's probably floating around somewhere.
yeah, it was pretty crazy. But we have supporters that I know that are not going to stay silent and are going to have those
Yeah.
banners and everything like that, and those banners are going to persist. They're going to be there for as long as they need to be there. Shout out to just all the supporters
Yeah.
of their all the supporters groups in general across the board. I think they all have that side of them that's going to be very impactful for their own communities. And
Yeah.
we're a microcosm of stuff. Like we're this small soccer bent side of fandom and of the city, and it's a small piece of a larger thing, but we can impact the
Yeah.
larger thing too.
The idea too, and I mean, like I said, we're gonna end up keep going back to this, but oh well, deal with it. If you're upset, then again, what'd you expect?
Wrong pocket.
The idea that if you're one person and you only believe that you're one person, what's the point of saying something? Means that they've won. Means that you have bought into the propaganda. You've fallen victim to isolation.
Yeah.
And it's not like that. One person posting something means one person's going to see it, which means two people are going to repost it, which means next thing you know, there's 500 people outside marching. Like, we have to keep building. We are one community, regardless of how spread out we are in the city. So I love you guys. Be safe out there. Can you tell us the scores from the game this weekend?
What we've been trying to do for the last couple minutes. All right. Well, okay. So Utah lost to Louisville 3-2. Seattle beat San Diego 2-1. KC beat New York 2-1. Orlando beat Houston 1-0. Bay beat Portland 1-0. And then Washington beat North Carolina 3-1. And that leads us into our game, which
We were
ended
the
in a
only
2-2.
draw of the weekend.
Yep.
Like, our matchup against the Red Stars. Like I said, I won't dead name anything but the Red Stars in Twitter, and probably something else that I can't think of. But whatever. The game ended in a 2-2 tie. Casey Fuller. Who am I? Oh my God, Kennedy Fuller knocked in a banger of a goal in the 29th minute, and it was like, woo! We go into halftime. We're up. Oh yeah, hell yeah, so good. Come out, and also halftime performance. All the dancers that were there, amazing. It was dope. It was a beautiful display of pride. Come out of the half. Is it Gomes or Gomez? I never remember because that spelling with the Gomes throws me off because I don't. Portuguese is stressful in my brain. She scores in the 58th minute, and then what felt like 4 seconds later in the 66th minute, Ali Schlegel knocked in a fucking banger of a goal from, it felt like half field, like mid, I almost said half court, midfield, but it was like just at the edge of the box. And it was just like, oh, like you felt the air go out for a second of just like, what?
Gomes was the fluke goal, right? It was just the weird pop up that got behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those, like, Angelina went to get it, and I think she tipped it. Like, she got a little bit of her fingers on it, but then it just changed the spin, and it just dropped in behind her, and it was like...
It was dropping in behind her. I think because she was going forward to defend it, but when it got kicked, it was deflected by... Mm-hmm. Was it deflected by MA? It was deflected by one of our defenders.
Somebody,
but it hit their foot, and it just popped straight up.
Yeah.
And then her momentum was already going forward, so she had to stop and try to go back, and just like... Yeah. That one was the fluke. That one was
yeah, but the Schlegel goal was like, I mean, I think it was getting voted on for goal of the week, and I was just like, damn it all to hell. But then we had subs before the 80th minute, before the 75th minute, before the 70th minute. We saw people for like the majority of the second half. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And then we're chopping, we're dicing. Like, we had so many good looks, so many almost good looks, so many shots on goal. Like, it was just one of those games where every pass was a smidge too long or too short. It was just like a little bit off, like you could tell, which makes sense given the week.
We had a lot of possession. I think when I was looking at the stats and everything, we had more than half of the possession. I think we were in like 65, almost like 70% of the possession, basically.
Yeah.
But then that, when you look at those stats, they don't always tell you what was really happening.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Like, when I was watching it on TV, that there's just a little bit off, like a little too far ahead, or a little too behind,
it's like somebody would be making a run and the ball would be right behind them, or right just too far in front of them, or somebody was supposed to cut and they couldn't, or like all the little things where you're like, oh, like you're so close, like just please let it happen. You're like, please let it happen in the second half, please let it happen in the last 20 minutes, please, dear God, let it happen right now.
We're running out of time, please let it happen.
Please. Thankfully there wasn't too much stoppage in this game. I think it was like a total of like 10 minutes, like a minute and a half in the first half, and then it went long in the second. But then come the 80th minute, our girl
Vingola
hits a banger. So she had just had a chance right before it went wide.
Yeah,
it was like slightly deflected, and it went bang, and you saw her just she tasted it.
She was so upset because like that, like it.
Yeah.
It had the sauce where if it went in, banger, but it just went off a little bit, right? And like we were saying, everything was just a smidge off.
Yeah. And then we do it again. Ball gets deflected, comes to her, and she just the same way Kennedy's goal felt like time slowed down for a second for her. Like, there's this thing that happens when you're playing sports, and I don't know if you've ever felt this because I don't think I've ever brought this up, but like when you're in like the best flow, or like you're in the right spot at the right time, or you're just in a place mentally where things feel really good, you feel free, and then all of a sudden everything slows down around you. It gets quiet, it's not stressful, and then you score, and then and then you PR, and then you do all these crazy things, and people are like, how did you do that? And you're like, I don't know, it just got quiet. That's what it looked like what happened with Kennedy Fuller's goal. And then with MA's goal, that's exactly what happened after she scored. Because it was just like shuffle, bam, bam, bam. And then she gets the ball. You see it connect. And you see like she just like clenched her fists, screamed, bent herself in half. And it was just like, like you felt the release of like, finally. Because she's been so close. Like, she's been on the tip of the iceberg of getting to the point of scoring this whole season.
Yeah.
And then honestly, it's all I want. Like most people know, she's one of my favorite players. I love her. So I was just so happy to see that, because you got to see the release and that freedom come back of just like, okay, I'm cooking. I'm all right. We're good. We're here. And some of her family is at the game. And so obviously when your family is there, it's different.
Yeah.
You want to show out. But it was fantastic. Savvy was at the match.
Savvy's return, that was a big thing.
Everybody cried again. even my mom got emotional. It was just like, oh, this is so good.
It's kind of funny to see I don't know who, someone posted it from the team, but it's like
Giselle.
the POV of them being up in the suites that they
Yeah.
were, and she's like waving, she's on camera, and they're all waving, and and she's like slowing down. They're like, no, you got to keep it going, because she's like,
waving.
still.
Yeah, let me switch hands. My arm is tired. But it was so good to see her. Apparently, I found out that she had also come to training that week. So like the team, and that was the first time the team had really seen her since everything happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was such a beautiful moment for them to like have her there, know that like she can be in the stadium again. And like for all of us, it was just like, like everyone was going crazy. It was just like, oh my God. In the other women's sports Discord I'm in, people are like, are they showing Savvy only on the broadcast? Or are you there? Like, we're like, we see her too. It was so good. But yeah, it was as crazy as everything was this weekend. It was a very joyful night. And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yes, the draw, good thing it wasn't a loss. The
Yes.
draw made the slide down to 9th place a little bit more palatable than than a loss. Although a win could have bumped us up a good amount
Yeah.
too. Like we're starting to get to that point where like everybody
we have to
is
start making the decisions of
We
like,
have to-
no, we're winning this game.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to start doing
Yeah.
that. But we're at that point where we're like all the numbers are crunching and they're all really tight.
Yes.
So any shift in points could become a massive jump, right?
It
Like-
feels like every game is from here on out is going to be a 6-pointer, regardless.
Yeah, because we're hitting the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's starting to get like that. So after that, we ended up in 9th. When
I need to get you a hat or something, like a very specific like costume, because we dubbed Mario Permutation Primo last season.
So I
He's
text
not
Angela.
here yet.
I text Angela. I was like, guess what? Or guess what today is, or something. When I was like,
Oh, yeah, on
hey,
Sunday.
it's on Sunday, because I was like, it's our 3rd anniversary, and like it's one of those things where like you remember, but then you forget, and like nobody ever wrote it down. So like it's not like we have it in our calendars.
We should
So I was
probably
like-
put it in the calendar.
I finally did.
Okay,
did.
good.
But I texted Angela on Sunday, and I was like, hey, guess what today is? And her response was the return of Permutation Primo, and I was like, no, not yet. Not yet.
He's not. He doesn't come back to town until after the break.
Until after the break, yeah. So we'll see him later. But right now we've been left in 9th, and I think I just wanted to read a couple of points that Jeff kind of broke down on the Discord, and I think they're really good points, and I just wanted to go through them. He's like, look at the time Strauss came in for better context, right? He's coming in after an international break.
Yeah.
We still have a bit of talent that's injured. LaRue, Emsley, Giselle. Endo is technically now back off. Woo! She's off the FEI list. But we got to give her time. She was warming up and stuff, which is
they announced her, like,
I bet it went insane.
it was insane. So like, the team comes out, they kind of straggle out for warm-ups and everything, and they're like, Angel City fans, June Endo's back on the pitch, and everybody was like, just screaming bloody murder, because it's June.
Yeah, it's June.
It's
My
June.
daughter, when I told my daughter that she was back, like she was so excited. She's like, I want to go. But then, she chose pool party. So
I told you. A couple people asked me, where's Mario? And I was like, pool party, duh.
Yeah.
Like,
pool party and then Korean barbecue. That's what her choices were. And she's like, so
that's good.
yeah. Okay. A next point that he was saying, we're waiting on new talent like Siebert, Svendiz, and Lopez to join the fold, right? Like to kind of get them really integrated. And honestly, Strauss he's only had like about a week with the team. Like he's only really had
full training. That's
one, probably full on training and a couple of like light ones or whatever. So again, that's a lot of the comments that we were getting was that like it kind of felt like Lady 1.5. And yeah, but we can see there's a couple of glimpses, but again, he's brand new to the team. He needs to learn everybody. Like I would be surprised if he remembered everybody's name by now. Like it takes me like
he said he'd watched like hundreds of hours of footage, so like he probably knows people's names.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
No,
unlike
but
me, where it takes me like a month and a half to like learn my coworker's name because I'm just like, it won't stick.
no, and I think too, like, this is the best time of the year for him to come in because you get your feet wet a little bit. You have a couple games, and then you go on this like month-long break to really settle in. You know, the team gets a minute, and then you just get to come in and say, "Okay, you ready? Let's go."
Yeah.
Like LFG all the way, balls out till the end of the season. Like balls out FC through the end of the season. Like, let's go on a run. We've done it again.
Quick side note: Boston did rebrand. They are now like the
Yes.
Swans, but
Boston Legacy.
you will still
It's a
be.
beautiful crest.
It's a beautiful crest. You will still be Balls FC though. I
Balls
mean,
FC forever.
you made your bed. You're gonna lie in it.
Done is done.
Okay. So with all of that, our prompt for the end of the game was Strauss era day one went ... And I think we got like a cool like range of
Yeah.
kind of expectations and feelings from people. So Janthony came in with like, again, this felt like Lady's last game in charge. Strauss is here and he was pacing and shouting, but he wasn't talking to the players that I could see. You know, like, again, the whole kind of like, he still needs to warm up. Like, yeah, he might have seen hours and hours of player footage and things like that. But are you in the fist bump phase? Are you in the handshake phase? Are you a hugger? Like where are you yet? I don't know where
Have
you
you
are.
created special handshakes for everybody on the team? Like, where are we at?
Yeah, where are we at? Cassandra came in big on energy and made notes how hard training has been, and we may not see the result until after the break, which I think is the kind of overall
The general expectation.
and idea that people were coming with. Doug said I like that he actually used subbed at reasonable time.
And he made note too, like he took Alyssa out early, took Riley out early because they just played internationally. You don't need to burn somebody's legs out just because. Yeah. And that's, look at that. Imagine.
Someone that's thinking outside of the pitch too.
I know.
Katie said there were 5 minutes in the second half that was a glimpse of it. A glimpse at what we could be, minus some connections, and I loved it. But it is time to be the team that we could be because this is a pattern at the halfway mark of each season.
Yeah, we start to see it, and then the break, and then it just fizzles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then as we kind of go down, a lot of the stuff that we were getting kind of is echoing a bunch of the same stuff. We got a couple of things on Instagram. Liz and Sam, Pride was fire, emoji. Parachutes, performers, and Tifa, fire emoji. Vibe, fans made it feel like a win, and then F ice.
Yeah, and then last but certainly not least, because somebody almost forgot, but he didn't forget. Ethan.
Oh, yes, he did not.
At the nth hour in the Discord and said, where is it? He's like, oh my God, I forgot to do a haiku. And then I kind of roasted him and I was like, what's it going to be? Oh no, oh no, forgot the precious haiku, whatever, next game. Like, and just blow it off. Ethan's haiku is new coach, lines played wide, Fuller out there taking names, bleh tie, happy Pride. It was very funny because like we kind of roasted him, like, I can't believe you forgot.
Yeah.
But I said,
technically he didn't forget because he came back to say like, oh, no, I got to do this.
I know, like, oh my God. If there is nothing, like if Ethan does not provide us with a haiku, I'll be upset. So thanks for coming in last minute.
All right. So with that, let's preview our match against North Carolina. We're going to be playing at home. It's our last home game until like August.
August.
Yeah, because we were trying to plan something, and then once we started like talking about like actual dates, we're like, oh yeah, next home game is going to be August 21st, and that's a Thursday. And then we have
there's not gonna be a real good tailgate till like October.
October
is
the first like weekend game. We are gonna do
something.
So when I said when I said at the beginning of the season that our schedule looked good and we didn't have too many midweek games, this is the point where all the midweek games are.
Yeah.
So We've enjoyed a lot of Saturday, Sunday matches. We're now
Get ready
back.
for
We're now
Thursdays.
Thursdays and Mondays, and yeah, those are coming in August and like the rest of October. They announced a friendly with Bay FC,
Yeah,
which
but there's like no info on it except
Yeah.
for the one little graphic that Bay FC posted. So I don't know. Nobody knows what's going on yet.
but either way, this is our last home match before
For a minute.
for a minute, and then I think we have like one or two more games, and then we have a month-long break. So, with that being said, let's talk about it.
All right. So we are matching up against the North Carolina Courage. They are a league stalwart when it comes to winning. This season's been weird for them. I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I'm excited to see how much the team changes between last week and this week. So they have more time with Strauss. He has more time to get players, you start to tweak the system and really allow him to get to know how people play, what they need, what they want, all that good stuff. And it is similar to what Katie said of just we're in this weird place that happens every season where we're looking really good, but can we trust it?
Yeah.
But
yeah, we might go on a good run for a little bit, and then it starts to head back down.
So I'm curious to see how this jump happens, but I'm excited to see the team in a position where we're up, we're tied, we're down, we equalize. This team has a never give up kind of feeling in a way we didn't before. Because before it was like, okay, yeah, we're scrappy, but we still don't always pull through, or like we don't know how to finish at that point. So now we're getting into the time of the season and like the time for the team, truly, like maturity wise. Can we keep building and pushing to get that extra goal for the win? Because we don't need like a +5 goal differential every game. Is that nice? Is that wonderful? Would we love it? Absolutely. Nobody would be upset.
Nobody would be upset. We
Yeah.
catch up to Orlando. Like it's
Honestly. But a 1-point win is still like, if you win by one, you win by one. You
Yep.
still bring home 3 points. That's the part that doesn't matter. Like I was joking with Eva and one of my friends tonight. If I could change one rule in a sport, I would add run differential in baseball. Because I think it'd be really interesting to see who's the worst team with the largest run differential, or like who's the best team with the smallest run differential. Like I think it would just be cool. But you don't need to win every game by 4 goals to win. If it means that it's a 2-2 tie and we can knock one in the 99th minute to win the game and bring home 3 points, sick. We do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. What part needs to be calibrated so that we can do that? And I think that's really what's going to be figured out over the break. And I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah. I think it's that little bit of finding. Hopefully, this is something that he knows how to kind of pull from them, which is finding that last bit of magic when you're tired, right?
Yeah.
When your legs are tired, when you have to push that last little bit. What are the strategies? Because like you're gonna get a few fresh legs, right? Like there's going to be some subs in that kind of like 60 to 80 minute window that are gonna hopefully change the tactics, change the flow of the game. But everybody else has the tired legs, right? But how do you gel with the person with the fresh legs? How do you find that last little bit of and it doesn't need to be like a box to box running for that last bit.
It's just getting a little dink, a little back heel in or something like that to do what you need to do.
It's getting the pass on target and not a little bit ahead, not a little bit behind. And it's finessing those things. Like the rest of the stuff we've always said that we have, right? On paper, like it's a great team and we have amazing players. It's that slight little finesse between them that hopefully we can figure out a little when we'll see a little bit of it in this next match. But really, it's something that hopefully we're working towards in that break when they have more time with him.
Yeah, he seems like a very intense dude, but it all seems like purposeful. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where coaches can come in and they can be super intense and we're going to run 50 million miles and we're going to do this. But like, why?
Yeah.
Or are you intense with a purpose of like, okay, we're going to do this to up our conditioning so that in 2 months we're not tired, or we're going to do these types of passing drills so we can thread needles a little bit easier so that when the box is crowded, we can still find each other. And it's that kind of stuff where it's like, you get super intense, you get in somebody's face, but at the end of the day, everybody knows why. And it's to improve. And I think that's going to be so fun to watch. Like, I'm genuinely like, can I just come to training? Can I just sit there? Can I be a fly on the wall? Can I get the video? Let me see the inner workings. I just want to know, like, the sports psychology side of my brain, the athlete in my head, like, like the athlete that I am is just like, tell me every little detail. It doesn't help that on Monday night, I went and saw Cheryl Miller and Candace Parker talk because Candace Parker's on her book tour right now, and it was amazing. But all I want to do is talk sports all day.
I'm like so close to the training, so I'm like, can I borrow your Wi-Fi? Can I work from here remotely?
The cool thing, like we mentioned, June came out for warm-ups and was warming up with the team, which is amazing. I don't expect to see her until after the break at the earliest, because why?
Yeah.
There's no need to risk it. This is a game we need to at least hopefully win, and I don't want her to be in a situation like that where people are like, oh my God, I can't believe she didn't score. And it's like, she just got her doctor's note came in like a week ago. Yeah. Chill out.
If anything, we'll see her if we have a sizable lead.
Yes.
If we have a 3-1, if we have a 4-1 kind of game, then we'll see June. If it's a 2-1,
close?
Yeah, no,
there's
that's not.
And there's no reason to bring someone in at that point, like in where she is in her rehab and her comeback. The other cool thing is Hannah Johnson got her debut. People were like, why is this happening? Because 1, her contract can be extended.
Yeah.
2, good that we needed a sub. We didn't have too many defensive subs.
Did you not hear the list that I read earlier?
Yeah, Elizabeth Eddy was out. Giselle was out. The girl that came from, what's her last name? Starts at the end. She's hurt. She's also new. She played 2 games ago.
Inuehes?
Yes. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yes. But she's hurt. Like, all these, there was no one to sub in, and Maria needed to come out because she was cramping. So it's like, Hannah Johnson. I mean, she did a great job, I think, for the limited minutes she got, the limited exposure to real playtime that she got. I think she stepped in and did a great job.
And she has a couple more games to possibly show what she has. Her contract will be up at the end of this month. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, show up, show out kind of thing. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then switching a little bit away from Angel City and on to North Carolina, Sean Nahas, their coach, has been away from the team for like the last couple of games. I'm not really sure why. They've just said like personal reasons. So whatever it is, I hope he's okay. They send best wishes. Their assistant coaches are stepping up to take over right now. But yeah, I don't wish bad things on people most of the time. There are very specific cases when I do, not this kind of stuff. If you're dealing with like a family issue, or you're sick or you're hurt or whatever, like just get better, sana, that whole thing. So exactly. So the courage, like I said, they are used to winning. They are the original, I would say, or like top 2 or 3 dynasty type teams in the league. For those of you guys who don't know, they've won multiple with an L championships. They have multiple stars on their crest. Historically very good. Danny Weatherholt, who used to be an Angel, is a Courage now. She's just lovely and wonderful, and everybody needs to be a little bit more like Danny Weatherholt. I don't want to cry about it, but I will. So we're not talking about Danny Weatherholt.
She's not even on the list.
I know. I just love her. But like, her family is great. She is wonderful. She makes such great connections with the community. So the second she's announced, everybody's going to be like, woo! No matter where she goes, she's just a light.
Even though it's been, 2 years since the move?
Yeah.
3?
It doesn't matter. It's Danny Weatherholt. It's the same thing when she goes back to Orlando. Like, any team she's played for, she gets there and it's just like, one of us. Like, she just is one of those people. So with active players right now, I want to talk first about Ashley Sanchez, who, until the crazy trade, which brought her to North Carolina from Washington, She was part of the Sandman team. Ashley Sanchez, Trinity Rodman, Sandman, and Rodman and Sanchez.
Yeah.
You get that? You get it?
Yeah. I got it.
She is notorious for just showing up. She's been on and off the national team. She's got a lot. I feel like she is a player who comes in with a lot to prove, but also shows up in those moments. So it's like she has a lot to prove and then she does it and you're like, oh, right. Duh. Why did I think she had a lot to prove? It's weird. It's like she's behind the 8 ball, but also in front of the line. And with the trade to North Carolina, it was incredibly, we mentioned it last season, like it was incredibly tumultuous and a hot topic of should a player be traded like that?
Before the CBA
Before the
got
updates.
updated. Yeah.
Yeah. This season, she's got 2 goals and a 72% pass percentage, which means she's completed 72% of the passes she's made. That's a lot. When you think about like in baseball, you're excited if somebody's hitting over 300. Over 300 is 30 something percent. That's bad. Like you rarely have somebody hitting 500, 50%. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Aaron Judge right now is bouncing between like 390 and 415. So like 39% and 42% essentially.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, but like he's the best hitter in baseball. Like it's insane. And then you look at basketball, if somebody shoots 50% on the night, it's lights out. You know, like granted, you have players that can shoot higher and sometimes do, where they're like, 3 for 3 from the 3-point line, but their shot percentage overall is like 60% because they missed everything else. But you know what I mean? To be above 50% of anything you've done in a game, bonkers good. Just because you, like we were saying, like sometimes your team is just like half an inch off. Everybody's passes are a little weird, or like your pass is great. The person it's supposed to go to isn't there. Like it's exactly where you think it should be and where you planned it to be, but the recipient isn't there. The recipient is now the wrong person or something like that. But she's a fantastic player. She's a midfielder, but very much an attacking mid. She's she is scary. She needs to be marked at all times, as far as I'm concerned. She's one of those players that you need to respect because her scoring ability is top notch. And when she's paired with other people who can score, it's just like assist. The way we were joking in the beginning of the season with Alyssa and Kennedy Fuller, back and forth. And Ashley Sanchez is just wonderful. So I'm excited to see her play just as a fan. But I hope she has a terrible game against us because I want to win.
As per usual.
Yeah,
we will always hope terrible games for these people when they're here. They're amazing people. They're amazing players.
Exactly.
We want to be the reason that 72% goes to like 70.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like let's interrupt those passes.
Exactly. I want your stats to not be as beautiful as they are. I want them to be a little worse. But I mean, no harm at all. Their goalkeeper, Casey Murphy, again, one of those players that's kind of like up and down off the national team. She's tall as heck. She's 6'1". So it's a big deal. Oh, I'm sorry. Really quick. Ashley Sanchez, she is number 2. Number 2 on the field. So midfielder number 2. She's got a long ponytail.
For those with the binoculars.
There's people by me that have binoculars. I love it. I love it so much. It's like a family, and it's like the son, the dad, the like grandpa, and they're just lovely. They're so cute with their little binoculars. I'm like, they're not that far away, but I get it. Your eyes get tired as you get older. But Casey Murphy, number 1 in the goal, won't be hard to find. She is one of the best keepers in the league. Eva and I were talking about this earlier tonight when we were talking about like who we're going to talk about, what are we going to do? What's the deal with Casey? What's the game? Because she's so tall, she can reach a lot of things. But here's the caveat when it comes to tall people. Do you know what the caveat is, Maria?
Same thing that giraffes have.
Kind of. The ground is really far away.
Yeah.
So
Where they have to essentially do the splits to drink
they're
water.
like this to drink water. Exactly. Same thing. So when you're really long, it is very hard to get to the ground quickly. Granted, keepers dive a lot, but if we can keep the ball on the ground, that's how we're going to beat her in the goal. If it's up anywhere, it's the same way. It's just like bop, bop, just blocking shots everywhere. It's the same thing in hockey. Like the 5 hole is the goal. You know, if you can get a puck between somebody's legs, because it's 1, 2, 3. It's the sides of your head are 1 and 2, 3 and 4 are under your arms. 5 is between your legs. Those are the different places in the goal for hockey. Kind of sort of same thing, but different. In soccer, you want to keep the ball lower to the ground because it's going to be harder for her to block. And I want goals. Me.
We need them.
Yes.
All we're asking is for a neutral or positive goal differential.
Yes.
That's all we're asking.
Preferably positive. Preferably positive.
We said we don't have to win games by 4 or 5 goals. We can win them with 1.
Yeah.
And guess what? When you keep winning with 1, you will have a positive goal differential.
Exactly. But that's pretty much what I have to say about Casey Murphy. She's great. She's tall. Keep the ball on the ground. That's pretty much it. I feel like it's not that
Not that hard.
It's not that hard, but like easier said than done for sure. When somebody's that good at what they do, it's not easy.
Whenever we talk about it, or whenever you hear any kind of sports pundit like talk about like why didn't they do this? It's not that hard. Or have you seen that one video? It's like a guy. It sounds like he has a Spanish accent, like from Spain, and he's like ranting. He's like, they drive Mercedes Benz. They eat at 5-star restaurants. They slept in a 5-star hotel. They got massages in the morning. They had catered breakfast. They have physicians, physios. They have people that tape them up for them. They have someone that bring them their boots. They have blah, blah, blah. And then it's usually cut with someone just picking a goal, like just kicking the ball up. So like you see the play building up and it's beautiful and like they've got a clear opening, and then this guy goes on a rant.
Just skies it.
And it just skies the ball.
That's fantastic. That's great. But for North Carolina, last but certainly not least, we talked about her last season because it's a big deal. Denise O'Sullivan, she's another midfielder. She's been with the team from 2017, and she has been there through, like, she's the last remaining player from that dynasty I talked about, that like those championship runs. Mm-hmm. I think Merritt was there for a little bit. Like they had big names on the Spirit, but she's the last remaining player. And it's really interesting because, like I said, she's been there since 2017. So she's like the heartbeat of this team at this point. I believe she's still captain. I haven't seen too many North Carolina games this season because the last couple weeks I haven't been able to watch soccer. I've been doing things. But when she was with the Dash, I know, scandalous. When O'Sullivan was with the Dash, she was like super misused. It wasn't really great. She got traded to North Carolina and like essentially rewrote her career. All of that credit goes to her and the rest of the teams and the players and everybody else, but not Paul O'Reilly, because screw that guy. He can come at me. I mean, please don't. I don't want to, but like if you have to, I guess. But damage was done. Big damage was done by that man in this league. But she was able to go into North Carolina, recreate herself, recreate her career, revitalize her career, and really just become the central hub for North Carolina. She's also an Irish international player for the Irish team and makes a statement every game. The Irish national team makes a statement regardless, and I'm always like quietly rooting for them, depending on who they're playing, obviously. But I'm just like, yeah, like power to the people. In the same way I cheer for Scotland because I'm an 8th Scottish. It's like, yeah, like Claire, that's my captain. It's really interesting having like a very mixed heritage because you're like, yeah, this team, yeah, that team, and then you're like, I don't even pay attention to this half the year. Like, what is this? I'm just excited.
It's around like every 2 years, and you're like, yeah,
exactly. It's like, yes. But overall, North Carolina is a great team. We have to be careful in the sense that we have to keep their attacking players marked up, defended, shut down, whatever you want to call it. We have to. I love our defense. I love our back line. This is just one of those games where it's tighten it up, squash all that. So we'll see.
All right. Well, and then Denise is number 10 on the field. So, all right, let's move on to, we have a couple of Angel City players that we can talk about. It's kind of been hit and miss whether we see them on the pitch or not, but it's been promising that we can see them more and more. I mean, where do you want to start?
So I'm going to start actually with Miyabi Maria, because we've seen her a lot more in the last few games because of everything with Savvy, injuries, all that good stuff. She's on our defense. She's in our back line. She's number 29. She's got a cute little headband, and her hair like flips as the game goes on. It's very cute. I really think that last weekend she had the best game that she's had in the league so far. It feels like, and actually same with another player I'm going to talk about, but I feel like they're getting their NWSL legs underneath them finally. Because they've gotten enough reps, they're getting the minutes they need, and they're able to really show up. Moria had a very interesting look. Like, I wasn't expecting her to be part of the offensive attack the way she was this last game, and it was really fun because it was like her, who was on the right side, because Alyssa was over with MA, but Alyssa was on both sides. Like, it was just fun. Like, you just saw her dancing up the line and really moving the ball better. You could see that her confidence had grown. So I don't know if it was something at training over the last few weeks, if something happened, whatever, or if it's just one of those things you wake up and you're like, yeah, I really am the shit. And you just play like it. But it was really good. Like, there's still some room to grow. Obviously, every player has some, but she's really stepped up over the last few weeks with Savvy going down, with Giselle out for right now. And I'm excited to see if she ends up starting again this weekend, or if she ends up subbing, whatever that situation is. I'm very proud of her because it's been weird. She's had some weird outings, and she hasn't really been set up to succeed a few times. There's been a few weird things.
Defense is one of those positions that you don't typically sub out. Like, you definitely can sub in some midfield and to reinforce the defense. You can sub out the forwards to get some fresh legs up in the attack. Typically, defenders don't sub in quite often, so whenever they do, it's always going to be like this weird
shift,
shift, because there's this like unspoken communication that usually happens, and like you find the groove of the game, and then you're kind of making it all work. And then so I want to say that Miyabe has had those weird moments where like she's being subbed in, right?
Yeah.
And so I think being able to really get more time in that position,
like
and
from
really
the
getting
starting whistle to
getting
really
more of those playing minutes from the beginning is really helping kind of solidify that for her.
Yeah. And then the next, so she's number 29, like I said, on the defense, on the wings. Then we've got Julie Defour, who's a forward. She's kind of been playing in the midfield for us, number 7. This last game, so a week, feels like a week ago. It was Saturday. It's Tuesday.
Believe me, today was the last day of school of LAUSD, and it feels like a Friday.
And you're like, I have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Julie, this is the most we've seen of her so far this season. She played the majority of the game on Saturday. It's the most alive she's looked. She's still getting her legs underneath her, but very much a big jump in how she's played between last game and this game. There were some missteps, sure, but like I said, every pass from everybody was a little short, a little long, a little off center. I feel like this last weekend was a big step in the right direction for her, and those things that were happening will be corrected. And it's not like it's like, oh, I don't know why she's on the team. Like she's gonna body somebody into the sun, and it's gonna be fun to watch. She's not. I mean, she got carded. It was like, what the heck? And it was funny because I thought she had like multiple cards. I don't know who I was thinking of, maybe Macy Hodge, but she was like, I think she has 4. And Richie turned around, and I told him, I was like, I'm talking about this on the podcast. He turns around, he goes, "De 4?" And I was like, oh no. Or he goes like, "Oh, she has De 4." And I was like, damn it. Like, my mom is like, that was great. Eva was like, good job, dude. Like, yeah, like solid. And he was just like, yeah. But yeah, I'm so curious about her because I feel like we don't know much about her either as fans.
Yeah, we haven't had like a really good look. And I think it's one of these, it's again, that point of the season where Angel City is going to get injured. And so we need our depth to really show up. And I think getting Julie minutes, getting Miyabi minutes, getting Casey, and getting like eventually it'll be getting June minutes, like things like that. It's just those are the important things, the game time minutes, and letting them kind of show up there. And again, if they don't show up there and then they get pulled back off, that was on
one
them,
thing.
right?
Yeah, but I'm glad we're seeing more of both of them because it means that they're showing up in training and on the pitch, like during live games. So that's important, and that's a big deal. And then we almost made merch like missing. Has anybody seen this person last season? I was like, I think it's not tasteful. And then we found out she was struggling, and it was okay. So I was like, okay, good. To be fair, the young, what is it? I was thinking The Bold and the Beautiful, like the soap opera. I was like the Young and the Young and the Restless. That's
Young and the Restless. That's
she's our youngin, like the youngest of youngins right now.
Okay. I was watching the game on TV, so like the camera is like closer to the action. She's tall. Yeah. She's compared to a lot of the players on the field. She's tall. I mean, I think she's tall in general, but like, yeah, like it surprises me to think how it's one of those things where
I was like, she's so young and so tall, and meanwhile he's talking to me.
I know. It's like
5 feet tall at 9 years old.
It's like I'm talking about my nephew when I'm like, oh, he's 10 years old, and it's like, oh no, he's 14, and he's taller than like everybody. I'm just like, no,
that's illegal. Like, no. I'm looking up to see. Oh, she's 5'10". Yeah, she is tall. Yeah, so Casey Fair and I are the same height, roughly. I'm a little bit taller than her, but still.
Big Ange would be like, just stand up straight.
Like, stretch out my, like, all my injuries. Like, come on, guys. Show up, be taller than this child. But no, she came in. She's ready to rumble. She's ready to go. Like, it looked like, so when you're watching like the Kentucky Derby or like horse racing and you get like the young horse, the second the gate opens, they're just like booking it. That's what Casey Fair felt like. We're just like this burst of energy, this burst of life that came in hot on Saturday night. And
she's got the good knees.
Yeah. She's got the good knees and she's got the goods. Like, she's fun to watch. So I'm excited to watch her find her footing more and more at the league level, because we're going to get a real-time goal off of her. We got the preseason goal, but like I want number 9 to bang it in the goal this game. So very, very excited. So she's fun to watch. Like I said, she's got lots of life. And I think the more minutes she gets, the more she's going to be confident and comfortable. And that's really what matters. And no idea what kind of lineup we're going to see this weekend.
No. I mean, with our injuries and with, I think, rightly so, Strauss just feeling everybody out.
Yeah.
And honestly, if he were to use a game or two to like try some shit, get weird.
Yeah.
Right now is about the time, right? We're about to go into a break that's really kind of the halfway point, and we can like lock things down and be like serious for the second half once he really understands everybody. Yeah. So again, he's only been here for 10 days, right? Like it took me longer than 10 days to really nail down like my password.
Yeah.
So
you don't know your work passwords. You barely know how to go to your, like, you can't find your desk, like that kind of
where's the
stuff.
printer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, we got to give the guy some grace
Absolutely.
with the team, and yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what that lineup is, and hopefully it's just kind of him filling it out and bringing kind of the good vibes and trying something new.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So,
So our history between the teams, we have a positive history. It's one of the few ones that we do. We
I
have
was
three.
going to ask you if this was like accurate. Honestly, I was like, what?
We have 3 wins with 2 draws and 1 loss against the North Carolina Courage. So
Let's make it 4 wins.
let's make it 4 wins. And with that, just a reminder, the match will be this Saturday, June 14th, against North Carolina Courage, who we've been talking about, at BMO Stadium, 7 p.m. The broadcast schedule is going to be on ION TV, and it's going to be on iHeartRadio and 13:30 a.m. for the Spanish radio broadcast. And it's going to be the Juneteenth celebration, so keep an eye out on the socials for what that will entail. There's usually some
merch.
Usually there will be merch. There will be some type of mid game, post game kind of celebration ceremony, something like that. So yeah, as soon as we find out, we'll share it out. There are a ton of other Pride events that ACFC is also participating in, and I believe we have that list, so we can share out that list too of all the other events that they will be officially at for the month of June. But
and if
also,
there's any others in other neighborhoods that Angel City isn't a part of and you want to let us know about, just shoot them over.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I'll show up.
We'll share them. We'll spread the word as best we can. And
absolutely.
Yeah, with shit being the way it is, like Angela said, there was people that were like going to a Pride event, going to a protest, then coming to the game, or coming from the game to a protest, or you do what you can.
We contain multitudes. That's it.
Yeah, multiple things can be true.
Yeah.
So, yes. With that, follow us, people.
All right, everyone. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more of it, make sure you hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening. And then check out casualfc.com if you haven't already for all of the podcast links, all of the places we're streaming, all of the things. We're also on YouTube. Like we said, thanks for those of you who are watching on YouTube. It makes me very nervous because you can see my face, which means you can see me cry. But nevertheless, thank you for the community. Thank you for all this fun. Follow us on social media at CasualFCPod on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. On Blue Sky, we're at casualfc.com. And I will apologize, I have not really been on social media. I've been so busy. So I haven't been posting anything fun on Blue Sky or literally anywhere else. Mario's been carrying the torch since forever.
When I can remember, yeah.
Yeah. We're grown-ups and it's hard. But regardless, you can always find me on the Discord. So come join us in the Discord. It's a great little silly community. Everybody's fun. It's a good time. It's a very safe space for anybody who needs it. If you aren't on the Discord already, make sure you follow the link in our bio to get there. If it's not working or something's weird, just DM us and we'll get you the link over there. But it's on all of our social media. So come hang out in the Discord. It's always a good time. And then when it comes to supporting the pod, if you share it, if you like it, if you comment on a post or an episode or whatever, it feeds the algorithm and feeds the robots and it brings us engagement and we love it. So keep doing it. Yeah. Thank you for everybody who does. If you want some cool ass shit that you want to rep our merch, go to shop.casualfc.com. Take 3, third time's the charm. I finally got it right. There may be some new merch dropping very, very soon that I think you guys are going to. So it's very funny, very tongue in cheek and very silly and very cute.
East Bay. We are trying to be the East Bay of.
Yeah. It's like the East Bay Breaking Tea. What's the other one? John Boy, if you follow baseball. We want to be the fun place to go for merch. So shop.casualfc, you can get shirts, you can get mugs, you can get all kinds of stuff. You want stickers, come to us. I'm sorry, I haven't sent anything out. Like I said, shit's been weird. It's coming. And then if you feel so inclined and you want to help support us monetarily, please go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod. If you want to throw us some cash, which feels crazy, but thank you for those of you who do. Like, it feels weird to even give people that option to me because I'm just like, I'll talk about this forever. But thank you for help keeping the lights on. We'll do a better job at managing the money than Greg Abbott does. So let's do this. Tell a friend about the pod, everybody. It brings the team good luck. We package it up and ship it over to Thousand Oaks and make sure it's at the training facility, makes everybody healthy. It's all the good stuff. But other than that, we'll see you on Saturday. Long live Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye, everyone.